We're back for part 2 with the main man. The first thing,
Let's not talk about it first.
Let's not talk about it. The devil's at work. It doesn't want us to prosper, man. But
this one's
it
gonna
can't.
be
It can't prevail, man. Well, this is the second time we're recording with Jayden. The first one got lost. A WeTransfer link. Don't know where it is, man. WeTransfer. If you're listening, help us, man. But we move. But yeah, Jayden St. Professional footballer, Norwich City Football Club, goalkeeper, GK Union, come on. Drippy goalkeeper, gang. But
GKs.
But Jayden's here. We'll have a different perspective today from a player who's had to retire at the age of 20. We're going to be diving deep into your journey and how, obviously, you're navigating life beyond football now. So welcome to the Beyond Football podcast.
Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate that, man.
You're welcome, man. Talk to us, man. How did it all start? Has football always been a dream?
Yeah, man. So from young, like mini kickers or whatever it's called, from 4 or 5 years old. My local team, Sandgate in Hayes. Was doing that, and then obviously I'm quite tall now. I've always been tall, so the tallest person just gets stuck in goal, and I just happen to be good at it, innit? So I think then 6 or 7 is when the academies start looking at 7 years old. They start looking at kids, and then I was in at Chelsea from then. So that's when I properly got introduced to football, and at that age, it's just a bit of fun, innit? You're not thinking about pro. It was just Chelsea and Sandgate were the same thing. They were the same thing to me back then.
Yeah.
I didn't know no different. All I knew was that I would play games with my Sunday league team on the weekend and then train with Chelsea or whatever. So that was fun. But I think those are the best times, man. We're just enjoying football. No pressure about how you're doing. Let's go in there for vibes, man. Pretty much. Yeah, and then didn't work out. I didn't get signed there, and then went to Wickham at 9. But just as I was about to get signed, the academy closed down that year. Then a couple of years, I was just enjoying football more. And I got to about 14, and I was like, okay, let me start taking this more seriously now. If I want to make it, I gotta actually show it. So then I went to Reading. I was there for about 2-3 months or so. Didn't quite work out there. Watford, under 15, same thing, didn't quite work out there. Then COVID, and then this is where football properly started, all the politics and stuff like that started. Well, I feel like once you get to 15, 16, then it starts to get serious from there. A lot of people, I think, once you get to after 16, you'll see the ones that are really serious about it and who's not. So
yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
I feel like those are the key critical periods.
100%.
That under 16 level, under 21 level, or I think it's under 16, under 18s, and then under 21 level. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a roller coaster, innit? Roller coaster. But how would you say? Obviously, we spoke about parents. You've had parents on here. How have they supported you on your journey? Obviously, from those young age, going from your local team in Hayes to playing, obviously going on trial Wickham, Chelsea, Watford, Reading, all these different experiences. We just spoke with, yesterday we spoke with Austin, who's saying that if he had maybe a more supportive parent, might have made it. So
yeah, I think I was good because they were supportive. They pushed me, but at the same time, not too much. They let me find my own feet. Because you see, not to be disrespectful for anyone, but you see some of these Instagram pages, they got kids 6, 7 going to one-on-ones and stuff. Me personally, I think that's a bit mad. You gotta let them enjoy their football first. It's a balance. Obviously, it's great having parents that are gonna support their kids' dreams, but I think you gotta let kids find their own feet first and actually realize that's what they actually want to do. So my parents were good. They supported me. If I said I wanted to do something, they would help me, but they didn't push me too hard at the same time. So that was good.
That's good. It's good. Did you, as I guess, growing up alongside your football, was football literally your sole interest?
In terms of I was at school. I was good at school, to be fair. I was fairly smart. So that was important as well. Like, education was no joke. I still had to get them grades or whatever. But like, it was always the focus to be football. I was also realistic as well. Like, a plan B is, I think people look at a plan B as you're not putting your full effort into. I just think it's good to have a backup plan necessarily. Because,
Insurance.
Yeah, so insurance basically, because if the numbers tell you, it's not everyone's gonna make it. Like even people in academies are not gonna make it. It's just not everyone can be pro.
So what age did you say you knew that from?
I think once I got to 15, 16, I realized like, okay, like not everyone actually like there's people that are good, like really good. I'm like, why are these guys not in academies at least? And then you get to 17, I'm seeing like even more guys like, damn, why is this guy here and this guy's not? It's the way it is. So
yeah, it's one of those ones. But yeah, as parents are critical, man.
100%.
Critical to see, those different trials. Were there any points where like your parents were like, nah, like you've been rejected by Chelsea, Wickham's not worked well, all of that? Like,
yeah, I think
push the education thing or what?
At one point, after COVID, I went to Dundee United in Scotland, and then about a couple of weeks later after that, I went to Leyton Orient, and after that, both were like really tough like rejections on me because especially the Leyton Orient one, I thought I was gonna get signed, and that one was difficult. So after that, they were a bit like, like maybe you should focus on, because at that point, obviously, I had just started year 12, and like, bro, because of trials I was going on, like I was missing school. Like I was waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to go to Leyton Orient every morning because I'm from West London, obviously. Leyton Orient's in East every morning, that Central line. Boy, like hour and a half there, hour and a half back every day.
Flip.
So my attendance in school, I didn't even know what it was at that point, but wasn't good. I can tell you that. So it got to like November. My parents like, maybe like stay away from academies a bit, focus on school, education, and then when you're ready.
That's at like what, 16, 17?
Yeah. So I think I just turned 17. So year 12, which is first year scholar. And then Norwich are interested in me, but my parents are a bit like, we just had just gone through the situation with Dundee and Leyton Orient, and you may want to take a bit of time off. And they were like, yeah, no, you're not going. I wasn't annoyed at first, but I was a bit like, you don't know when these opportunities are going to come up again. And then they asked me again, and my dad was like, oh, nah, I think you should take some time. And then I remember I finished my exams like halfway through the year exam, midterm, whatever you want to call it. And then they asked my dad again, and because I finished my exams, he was like, cool, you can go for a week. Like this was December 2020. So I went there for a week. And like I just took it I changed my mindset a little bit. I just took it as a chance to go there and compare myself to, that's Cat 1, the highest level academy. Just go there, enjoy it. If anything, I can just take something from it. And I enjoyed it. Like that was the best trial I think I had, not even just from a performance-wise, just from actually going there and not feeling too much pressure. I was just enjoying myself. And I think that's probably why I ended up doing well and getting a contract in the end. Just because when you're more relaxed, you're just playing football and just enjoying yourself. So I remember that ended up being the best trial I had, and it worked out. So
no, that's class. That's class. I think it was actually quite funny. I don't know if you remember, but I was doing a workshop at Norwich at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
I was doing a workshop at the time.
Funny
and I bumped into you. Go on.
When I was moving out my apartment in Norwich probably like a couple months ago, and I'm clearing my stuff, I think you gave a book out.
And
I found
What, FIFA football one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, wait, what? That your one?
Yeah, I think it was mine.
You had that back in 2019?
Nah, it wouldn't be 2019.
Yeah, 22 maybe.
22.
Yeah, it was only a couple years ago. I gave some sort of booklet because I remember bumping into him. I stepped away from the session. I think you were out the session as well, and we were talking. And I think you said it was like your first week there.
I'm pretty sure this might have been after I just signed my second contract.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was as I was going upstairs to sign. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I think you might have said you just signed. And I
I came into your thing late because I just signed.
Yes.
I remember. That would have been December 2021.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, such a small world. Small world, man. But I was actually excited. One, because you said you're a goalkeeper. At two, you said you're from London, London way. And I was just like, it's such a great thing because you hadn't really come through an academy system.
Yeah.
But to be able to sign so late, it just gives hope to anybody that's actually out there and saying, cool, it's still possible to make it through, man.
Yeah, because
so,
even when Norwich were interested, in my head, I'm like, cool, Cat 3's it, but it didn't think I was good enough. So why is a Cat 1 gonna think I'm gonna have that sort of mindset?
Football, innit?
It's just football, man. Like,
game of opinions,
it's funny,
man.
That's like having, what industry should we use now? I don't know, Mercedes Benz wanting you now, and then you're not even getting them accepted by Ford Focus.
like,
Do you get what I'm saying?
So that's why you got to back your own slime, innit? The truth of the matter is everyone's going to have their opinions. So you just be the best and you trust that. You'll find your path, innit?
It's facts. So all those experiences, obviously going through, you said, Reading, Chelsea, Wickham, Dundee, Leyton Orient, Norwich, all these experiences, all before the age of 18. How do you think that's helped you, obviously, in your life now in terms of new environments, going into different settings?
Especially, I say the last two, so Dundee United and Leyton Orient, that made me like mature so much. I think like that was like at the time 16, 17, like going through real like that was hard for me, like those rejections, and like I think I really grew up and like mature, especially over the past 2 years, even through my injury, going through real struggle and hardship. It like really was forced to grow up, I think. And just, I think now going into whatever I do next, like any obstacles in my way, I've dealt with probably some of the toughest obstacles you can. So I feel confident in myself that with any obstacles in the way, I can maneuver my way through them.
It's an interesting one because I guess Daniel's listing some of the teams that you had to go through and get those rejections. Do you feel like every rejection either made you stronger or it actually discouraged you more?
Some were different. Like some, I think Reading, I knew I wasn't quite ready. What was that, under 14s? That team was, that was the first time I think I went into a team so far, so at that age, I'm like, damn, this is a high level. Like there was some good players in that team. Jamie Binyo Gittins at Dortmund. Yeah. I remember I seen him and I was like, okay, levels. Like that's the quality that it's gonna be. And then somewhere like,
are you the same age as Kanaya?
He's a year above me.
Okay.
I think he's 03 as well, but he's a year above me.
Are you 03?
I'm 03, but like November. So
makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the year below him. But yeah, he was there. I remember seeing him, and he was good. I'm like, okay, that's the levels that I need to get to, or aspire to get to at least. But then other ones like say I said Leyton Orient, where I thought I'd done enough to get signed. That's like can sort of be like, damn, is this really for me? So some of them were like, yeah, okay, I need to push on. Others are like, damn, like, can I take this? Like, when you feel like you're at the level where you're good enough, but this one coach, it's weird because all the coaches can say, oh yeah, you're good enough, but it's just like one opinion from that one guy. Vice versa, if other coaches don't think you're at a level and that the one whose decision it is thinks, yeah, I like him, we'll get pushed on. So
I've had too many experiences.
It's just ball, man.
It's just it breaks my heart, innit, if we get into. But it's like a question I asked Toby yesterday when we were just speaking. I was just like, do you ever get any experiences where you're just like, you just get a rush of all the flashbacks of all those rejections?
I had that plenty of times.
Swear.
Yeah, like even just like, if you were just sitting at home or just you're just thinking like, or even another thing I think about, is like, especially when I was starting off at Norwich, I used to think like, damn, I'm at this level now. Imagine I was in academy from 9 years old, what level I'd be at now. Like all those years of not getting professional training like 3-4 times a week. Like what level would I be at now? So
it's an interesting one because I guess, how do you not live there when those flashbacks come? You know what I mean?
It's very hard,
because
yeah.
I feel like things like that can bring you down, but this is a real life chat. These are the realities that players might be going through, whether out of contract or injured or not at clubs anymore. And they're asking themselves, I keep getting these flashbacks going back. You know, what advice are we really giving?
I feel like that's why it's obviously important to have a good support system. But also having a mentor in place that can obviously help you bring out the positive situations in your journey as well. You know, whenever I go through those periods, you know, just remember, I've been to 20 different clubs. This person said I'm not good enough. Remember that one time where I did this and the manager drew me out in front of the coach. All these different experiences that come. I feel like the things that helps me is sleeping on it, not being too. Obviously, it's good to be able to let those emotions flow, because sometimes it's important to feel those emotions. But then obviously you're reminding yourself of the positive situations as well. You know, I had to go to like 20 different clubs, but I've done this, played in the World Cup, all these different situations. I think that's what helps as well.
That's good. What about you? How would you even answer that?
Yeah, speaking on that, so recently I done the level 2 course for talent ID and recruitment, and one of the guys leading the course, he's a scout at Chelsea, and we was just speaking on whether he thinks in order to be like a elite level player, like a world class player, you have to have been in the system from 9 years old. So what do you guys think of that?
I think you do, yeah.
Yeah, like
the stats say it, innit? Like every player who played in the England team, they're all in the England team. They're all in.
I think you could get
from
away
the age
with,
of 9, innit?
I think you could get away with under 11. I think you could come in at under 11s. If you were just physically developed, you could maybe catch up.
Yeah, but then most people who've done that, they've probably been at like the pre-academies of all the other clubs, innit?
So I think it's in order to be an elite player, if you weren't at an academy from off a certain, it's hard.
It's long, to
make it to that.
But it's part of the 10,000 hours. I don't know if you've read Bounce, innit?
No, I haven't.
So Bounce is the myth of something and the power of practice. So he talks about the 10,000 hour rule and just how the elites, Tiger Woods, all of that guys, they've had thousands of hours at a young age playing golf,
memory,
all those different things. That's why they're elite. Yeah. It's not because of, it's the myth of talent and the power of practice. So these players are not talented. It's because they were in the academy system from under 9. If you're in the academy system at under 9, I guarantee, with the build, with the structure, all of those things, it's a long day. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's just about, if you want to be successful in anything, that's the blueprint. You've got to be willing to put in the hours.
But there's outliers to the rule.
Outliers.
There is, but I say for the majority of...
There's outliers, but it's also about, they talk about purposeful practice. So if that training is high quality, so you can start from a young age. Like there's people who start from a young age, before the age of 9, but they're not in academies. Why are they not at that level? Because it's not purposeful practice. So, interesting. But there is outliers that Ian Wright.
There is definitely like
all the different people. Yeah. So, but it's interesting. But how do you get yourself out of those difficult situations where you're having all those flashbacks?
I think I was very in the moment. Like before I got into Norwich, I was very like, damn, like if only I'd performed better here or performed better there, I would have been in the system way earlier. But once I signed, I just said, all I can do, I can't change the past now. I can't change when I joined the academy level. I'm here now. All I can do is apply myself every day. And then whatever happens, as long as I can tell myself that, you gave it all, I can walk away and be happy. So.
Yeah. And then in terms of at those ages, like 17, obviously going into Norwich, how much did like making it as a footballer mean to you? Because I know I get a lot of people, you've got a lot of friends, you probably have people around you that like they want to play football, they want to get that professional contract. They've been to all these different clubs, but they want the lifestyle. they don't actually.
Lifestyle.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to be able to wear that Supreme drip.
Chill
you know.
out.
Do you get what I'm saying? But there's actually players that actually want to make it. Like, where do you think you were at that stage?
I think I speak about this like with my friends a lot, like guys who are just whether they're playing with their college teams or whatever. Like, I don't think you fully realize how hard it is to make it until you're actually in like the academy system. Like, thinking when I was 17, I'm thinking, cool, once I get signed, yeah, I'm in. Like, I'm sorted. But then actually, once I got there, I realized,
Long day.
even though I was closer than I was before, I realized the gap is like, because even if you speak to someone who doesn't know football and you say, oh, you're in the under 21s team, and then you tell them that's one below first team, they're like, oh yeah, you're almost there. No. 21s to men's, that is a gap. That is a gap. Even just like watching training sessions, like even just quality.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
it's very true.
And there's other things. Obviously, we speak about politics in football or whatever, but the primary thing is the quality. Like, it is not a little jump. That is a big gap. So, I think people, if you really want to, you have to realize the work you have to put in. It's not easy. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. It's interesting because they always say that, like, the things, I have a guy on Snapchat, Chambers Jr., do you know him?
Nah.
Yeah, but he's like, he says he obviously has the cheat codes to life. He's one of those like motivational.
Yeah.
So he just gives gems out. But he always says like anything you look to do, it's gonna be 10 times harder than you expect it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a specific term for it, being like that bias or something you have. But I feel like that's definitely how it is in football. And for me, that moment came when I was obviously came out full time at Barnsley and I was training with Dartford in the evenings. Obviously, you come out full time when you're training in the evenings. And after training, I was just sitting down with this older player, and I was just like, bruv, this thing is long. I feel like it cut me deep because I was just like,
you probably haven't trained in the evening since you was what, like 13, 14?
Yeah.
Like,
and for me, I was just like, bruv, this is peak. Like, it actually sunk in with me, and I was just like, yeah, bruv, I'm at the bottom now. This thing is mad.
Someone asked me, actually, after I announced retirement, someone asked me, would you come join our semi-pro team? No.
I swear, why? Why not?
First of all, it wasn't even like, for one, I'm not trying to ruin my knee even more, for one. Yeah. And the second reason was, I think, just going from that to then, I think it'll play a mental tone. It would. So maybe in the future, but definitely not about the way my legs. Like, nah, like.
It's interesting because you lot are talking about obviously being up here and close to what the system's like and breaking through to dropping down to the non-leagues, you know, and that actual change. I guess, how do you prepare someone for that though? Or is it just not possible?
I don't think you can prepare for it. Like, how can you prepare from being at a certain level and then dropping down? Like, naturally, that's going to play tricks in your mind. You're going to be like,
Nah, it's too peak, man. Bro, that day, that night, I was just like, bruv, this thing is peak. That's the day I knew that this football thing.
What was peak? What was peak about? What was long about?
It was just like, I was like, this thing is hard. Because it was just after the back of Carlisle, Bohemians, Chesterfield, Bristol Rovers. I went to AFC Wimbledon. I'm at Dartford now, training in the evening. 3 months ago, I was on the bench in the championship against Swansea in front of 20,000, 30,000 people.
Was that your highest moment, you think? Or was there ever a point where you thought...
One of my highest, yeah.
That you were going to make it? Like, was there a point where you're like, okay, like, bro, I'm there, like...
Playing for England. Playing for England alongside Bellingham, Palmer. Playing in the World Cup in Brazil. Number one keeper. We're beating Japan. We're beating Hungary. Signing my first pro. Going with the first team at 16 to Switzerland, training with first team. all these different moments. And then that time at Dartford, I'm just like, bruv, this thing is peak. I was just like, bro, this thing is gonna take everything out of me if I want to make it. From this, where I'm at now, it's gonna be a long
That shows
day.
you really want it though, because guys that are just in it for the lifestyle, they're gonna go do something
The
else.
non-league thing, if you want to make it from the non-league thing, it's gonna take your whole life, bro.
I don't know if I agree, you know.
What do you mean?
I don't know if I agree. I think if you're prepared enough and you're willing to make the sacrifices, you can go.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's gonna be a moment where, like, when you're at a certain point in your life, not even necessarily in football, but at a point in your life, and then suddenly, boom, you drop down a few levels for whatever reason. There's gonna be a moment of doubt in your head naturally. That's just subconscious. Like, I don't think anyone can control that. Whether it's only a little 5-minute thing in your head, like damn, like, and then suddenly you're like, okay, let me get myself together.
Yeah.
For other people, it could be take them 2-3 years to get over that. But I'm saying everyone's gonna have that moment, I think, where you're like, damn, like this is different. Like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, because
Self-doubt.
you don't actually know how hard it is, man. This thing is hard, especially as a keeper. Like,
Maybe as a keeper,
yeah.
Maybe as a keeper.
As a keeper, it's so peak, man. That drop is even peak. It's peak for like players. Obviously, go from Prem Academy to non-league, but for a keeper,
I think it's even lower because of the, they want experience.
They want experience.
Yeah.
And also, there's no keepers are, in terms of value, stock market. If you're a keeper in non... a young keeper in non... you're finished. You're finished, bro. Because they're not going to pay you nothing. They're not going to pay you nothing. As a keeper, they're not going to spend money on a keeper. Bro, you're bottom of the barrel, bro.
You see, like with non-league or like the lower levels of like League 1, League 2, so like not Prem, they can throw an attacker on winger or whatever. They're not going to mess up. Like, it's not a thing with trust. But with keepers, they want experience. They want to be able to trust you.
It's tough.
So
what advice do you give to your fellow keepers?
I'm saying you've got to have the strongest mindset ever because, boy, this is peak because the world is against you. As a keeper, the world's against you.
100%.
Bro, I did a session the other night. The shooting from there.
I
in
used
a
to hate
shooting
that,
drill.
I used to hate that.
I'm like, bro, it doesn't make sense. They're violating us. We get violated every single session. Move the goal, do this, do that. They're shooting. The ball's witchy where he is sitting and they're banging it at my face. And
especially when they're striking it, like...
Bro, I'm telling you now, bro, they're passing the ball from here to there and they're banging the ball at us.
They can't be that close, bro.
I promise you they were. And it doesn't make sense.
In between penalty spot and the 6-yard box, it'll be a short cross and they're
taking 2 or 3 touches. How is that real?
And they say you take a shot off, like you don't, like say the shots are really quick in between and you're not diving, and then players try to get onto you. And I'm like,
so
you do this job. You do this job.
So in terms of advice, I would just say like,
not for everyone, man. Keeper.
It's not. It's one of the positions where if you ain't got a strong mindset, a strong foundation, and you're not gritty, you're finished. Because other than obviously the politics side of it, you've got to have resilience.
Yeah. Another thing as well. We was talking. I remember at Norwich we was talking about this. Top 3 hardest positions to play. What do you think the top 3 hardest positions to play in football?
Top 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, centre mid.
Okay. Do you want to specify, or you mean centre mid as a whole? Like,
I'll just say general centre mid. I think number 10. If you're talking about that, that's more of attacker anyway. Holding.
I don't think 10's that hard though.
Yeah, 10's not too hard. 8, if you're playing
up and down.
You're playing a 4-4-2. There's 2 in there. At 8 and a 4, there's mileage. I think striker, because you're centre halves and you still got to score.
I don't know about that.
No. Striker 8
halves.
It's not top 3. Allow it, man.
Top 3, and then goalkeeper.
I don't think striker's up there.
Striker's
because you know what?
Striker's up there. It depends on what team you're on.
I promise you now, if your team good and you're in the right positioning, bro, strikers calm.
No.
You're laughing.
Bro, I think you can get
very
away.
calm, bro.
Man
but
can
no
have 5
pressure.
touches in the game, bro. As long as you score, bro, a little tap in, bro.
You're
That's
calm,
your done, bro.
What other positions are there? You're talking now what centre?
Bro,
centre,
I think
centre
wing back is hard.
Wing
bro.
back. If you're fit, you're calm.
Centre-back.
Wing back is
I
hard.
Centre-back
said
is
it's
calm,
one
bro.
of the, not one of, I think
Centre
it's one
back
of
is
the
easy,
easier
yeah,
one.
calm.
Because I think, no,
what
okay,
I'm saying.
I don't want guys to get on to me now. I want to have guys saying,
Centre back is calm, bro.
but, though, I think, even as, I'm not saying I can play, but like, as long as you have, at a pro level, anyone playing pro can do a pass or whatever. Like,
centre back is calm.
You goalkeepers are delusional.
No. I'm not saying I can play
Bro,
centre
a
back.
goalkeeper, you can slap a goalkeeper striker will do a job for you.
No way.
I promise you.
No way.
Bro,
Bro, one run
you
into the channel, I said you're done. Bro.
Nah, bro. Goalkeeper,
Genuinely.
some fit goalkeepers,
No, bro.
I'm,
You
I'm
can't play
fit.
goal. No.
I promise you now.
I'm not saying I
you
can do
can't
it,
play
but I'm
striker.
saying certain
Bro,
guys.
certain
me,
keepers
bro?
can
What
finish better than
Serene?
strikers.
Do you think Serene could,
Could what? Play striker?
or like play like centre mid, or
Yeah, like he's got the tech and that. Keeper's got the tech. We could play in other positions, but
So
I'm
what's
saying
the top three? Go back to your because
what's the top
you're-
three.
top 3 hardest, or goalkeeper, DM, I think centre mid, like DM. I think DM. Yeah, I think DM.
I don't
personally.
think DM.
No, but like I'm saying, guys that are getting the ball, like getting the ball back to goal, like when you got guys breathing on your neck, I think it's one of the hardest ones.
Nah, I'm saying
don't
on
think
6
so.
or 8,
Do you think?
box to box. Yeah,
Yeah, it has to be
Like
if you're there in the
like
two.
a Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
All right, let's say centre mid as a whole.
Calm.
Centre
Centre
mid,
mid,
goalkeeper,
it's got to
and
be
then
striker. Where else is harder?
Fullback.
Fullback's not. Bro.
Fullback's harder than a striker, bro.
I think
No,
so.
it's not.
I'm
Yes,
gonna say
it is.
What are you
bro.
talking about? Though?
Have you ever
You're
been?
talking about fitness?
No, I'm talking about the whole thing, bro. Have you ever been against a top tier winger who's twisting you up, bro?
And
Bro,
you got to go back up.
I have to
as
go
well.
back as well.
You bring your man to double up.
Nah,
it's
You get your
simple
centre
as
half,
that,
bro.
You're telling me,
I think
bro, if
fullback is
someone's
peak.
cold, you double up on them.
bro.
That's
After you're
simple
doing
tactics.
that, after you win the ball back, you're expected to run the whole pitch and cross the
Bro,
ball.
if
That's
you're
violence,
tired, bro,
bro.
tuck
Cross the
in, bro.
ball.
You say all of this expectation, bro. I said,
Nah, bro.
you
I
have to
want my
manage the game.
fullback, bro. I wanted to defend, win the ball back, pass, make a run, go and cross the ball on the other side of the pitch, bro.
I
That's
think-
peak.
That's fitness. You're just talking about fitness. So you need to be fit.
Fullback
I
is
said,
definitely
top
very
3,
hard.
goalkeeper, striker, like I said, and centre mid.
What makes being a striker hard?
Bro, there's one, pressure on you to score. 2,
Everyone-
if you don't
everyone on the pitch has
Nah,
pressure.
nah.
service,
If you don't score and you keep a clean sheet,
Service.
you're calm.
what?
You're calm, bro.
No, but I'm saying you could have a, like, in terms of actual how you played, a terrible game, but if you scored, it's calm.
True,
I
sir.
could make
That's the hardest thing to do in football.
I could make 7
That's why-
amazing
that's
saves.
why it-
No. It's harder to
7
keep a
amazing
clean
saves,
sheet
and
than
then
score.
one
Bro, you got
mistake.
everyone keeping a clean sheet for you, bro.
Nah.
Are you kidding me? Sometimes
Come
it's
on, man.
goalkeeper don't even need to touch the ball because their defense is so good.
Nah, you're gonna
And you're
make
saying it's
your-
hard. No,
Okay, strikers don't need to score because a winger can score.
someone else can score, but they'll
Yeah.
still look at us and say you didn't score.
Not necessarily. If you're assisting, Jesus, he doesn't score. Jesus, he just assists. Do you get what I'm
Bro,
saying?
we could go back and forth with the nuances. They're my top 3. I'm sticking with
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
My top 3
I
are
can't believe you put fullback in there.
I
be,
say
bro.
goalkeeper, centre mid, and fullback. Fullback, yeah, defo.
But look at winning teams like over the last how many years. Like, you can't have an average goalkeeper or a below par goalkeeper and win the Prem.
Yeah.
So same with centre mid.
Same with strikers as well.
True,
To be fair,
yeah.
but I think in terms of like expenditure, all of these different things. In terms of striking, I feel like if you're a striker and you've got good technique, good shooting, all of those things, you're calm. Like you don't really need to. The strain on yourself. The strain is not as much.
It's 2 goalkeepers versus.
Everyone's got their
Like,
opinion. That's
the
all I'm
strain-
saying.
Nah,
The
'cause I've been on the
strain-
other end of this argument
put
when there's one goalkeeper and I got all these.
Nah, put respect on goalkeepers' names always.
Like strikers, what they do is amazing. Like, but I'm just saying in terms of the grand scheme of things, I think they've got a slightly easier gig than other people.
Only because if it's not working, you can bring on another striker. That's the only thing I think is easy. Because if you're not getting a service, you still got to work hard. You got centre halves down your neck. You got a defensive mid on your toes. You want the run channel, hold the ball up, win flick-ons. You need to get in on the end of every cross.
True, yeah.
You got assist. You got link up play. There's a lot to it. You got to play with your back to goal. Everyone else is facing forward. You got to play with your back to goal.
I hear it.
No, there's a lot to it. So I understand why you won't stick respect on it.
GK union, innit?
Yeah, GKs can stick together, bro. but your thing's different, bro. Your thing's different. Even if I try and give advice to a GK, I wouldn't even know what to say.
I feel
that's also on and off the pitch. Like when it comes to like contracts and finding teams, I can go and trial here, go and train here. I said for a GK, what does that? I think it's a completely different.
It's
like a different. Yeah, it's a different part of the football roster.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? And I think then I don't know if there's enough spoken about the journey of a GK and how to actually navigate through.
That's what I'm saying, and I feel like that's something we need to do a whole episode about in terms of actually equipping goalkeepers, because bruv, this thing is peak for keepers, you know. For young keepers, so many they're not getting opportunities. Like for example, a striker in the 18s and that, you're gonna play as a first year scholar.
Yeah.
Keeper's not playing as a first year scholar.
I was lucky, I think.
Bro, you're playing, if you're a keeper and you're first year scholar, it's like common theme. You know you're not playing. The older keeper's gonna play.
So what are they meant to do? Because they need to
hold that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Wait, so are you basically saying you're signing? And
I have to hold that.
But are you basically saying that you're signing and your first year just
you know you're more than
that
likely
can't be the
not
reality.
gonna play.
17,
But that's
what,
the
17's PL
I promise
Cup.
you now.
That can't be the reality.
I promise you now. That's what happens. That's what happened to me. It happened to the keeper ahead of me. Bro, I was a first year pro. Didn't play 190-minute game, bro. All the keeper played. First year scholar. All the keeper played.
Fair.
Nah.
That's the reality for a lot of
March.
keepers.
I came in March of my first year scholar. So then at that point,
You're basically second year, innit?
yeah, so I played all the games from March until the end of the season. But then when I was second year, obviously I played most of the games in the first year. They don't get as much games, so it is hard, I think. And it's not a thing where it's very unlikely that the first year is going to play ahead of the second year. I think the only times where a first year will be playing the whole year is if, I don't know, it's a thing where the second year scholars playing 21s.
Yeah, something like that. And they have like no
that.
keepers, or they're really trying to push him. They've bought him or something.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, through your journey, obviously signing from Norwich, everything's going smoothly. You've been with the first team a couple of times, innit?
I didn't actually get to
train with them.
I didn't get to train with the first team, so
I seen you in match day. One of the pictures.
Nah, I didn't get to train with the first team because by the time I got injured quick.
Yeah.
Not quick, but I was injured at Norwich longer than I was fit.
Playing, yeah. Talk us through that. How did it actually happen?
Yeah, just in a normal session, just GK session, no contact, anything. Just got ready to caught a ball, went to push off, and boom, like I got shot in the back of the leg, man. Like, yeah, and just I tried to carry on, but I just realised like I couldn't bend my leg, and then at first you're not thinking. I don't think you think the worst well, in my case, I didn't think the worst at first because I never really got injured much. I wasn't an injury prone player. So I was just thinking, a little like tweak my knee, a little like 2-3 weeks.
Something like
two things. But then got a scan saying, surgery. Surgery. So I had to do that. And then the rehab process for the first, it was only meant to be like a 2-month injury. And then it's going on and on. I'm like, what's going on here? And then we got another scan. And then, there's another little tear. Just like, damn.
And is it what, back of your leg?
Yeah, lateral meniscus. So there was another test. So they're like, need to have another surgery. So I remember I done A-levels, so I had my results day and my second surgery on the same day.
Wow.
So I didn't even get to go get my results. I got them on an email. So on the same day of surgery.
What did you do for A-levels?
Business and psychology.
Wow, nice.
Those two. So yeah. I enjoyed business. I liked business. That was interesting. So yeah, had the second surgery, and then the whole thing throughout my rehab was swelling. Couldn't get the swelling down at all. And then I had a lot of tendonitis on the front of my knee. That was a big thing as well. Got to around November times, finally starting to make some progress, and then I'm outside on the pitch doing running, it's feeling good, and then I probably had like another 2 pitch sessions before I'm back with the team, and then I remember the outside. I think the pitch was frozen, so I done my pitch session on the 3G, and then cool. I must have come in the next day. My thing's writ off, man.
Wow.
Yeah, like my leg was clicking and locking, but
Sugar.
man. I remember I sat on that physio bed and like, you know, when they're moving your leg and like, I was like, yeah. So I remember we got a scan and then
Long day.
the scan basically said I had like loose like tissue like floating around in my knee and stuff. So yeah, I mean that one when I realized
Tissue floating around in your knee.
I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was
What
like I don't know if it's called like
heck?
chondral surface, something like that. I can't remember the technical terms, but essentially I had stuff floating around in my knee and my leg was locking.
Flipping heck.
So yeah, I remember when I heard that one that I need another surgery. That one, because that before people were sort of like, oh, like after I had my second surgery, like damn, like people used to joke like, oh, what if you need to retire? I took that as a joke.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know when you hear stuff like, oh, what happens if an injury happens, and like you never actually think it can happen to you. Like never in a million years, like you actually think it can be you. But then it actually happened to me. I used to sit like up at night, be like, there's no way this is happening to me. Like for someone who never used to get injured, this injury I have like this, yeah. So then I had my first surgery, January 2023 now. So I got injured April 2022. Second surgery, August 2022. First surgery, January 2023. So I had 3 surgeries in like 9 months. So yeah.
And were you working with anyone, obviously, to help you in terms of the mental side of it?
Yeah, I think at first I wasn't really trying to hear it. Like, I was just trying to deal with my problems on my own, which I think is just, I don't know if that's just a thing that, I don't know if that's a guy thing, you want to act as if you're strong. I don't know if that's a guy thing but that was the case with me anyway, that I just wanted to just keep it to myself. Like I didn't want to be showing no emotion like that. That was what it was. I wasn't speaking to my friends. Like a lot of people didn't realize I was still injured. Like I wasn't speaking to anyone. So people just assumed I was.
Yeah, because obviously looking at your Insta, you just had those. I think you had like 3 pictures.
Yeah, I done a shoot, like football shoot. So I was in people. So people
thought you were still back.
Yeah. Like, I was just literally I was just wearing this. Yeah. And then I remember we got to summer 2023. At this point, I've had like steroids, all different procedures. Like I'm trying everything. Like, and then I remember we went to see a specialist. And he gave me 3 options. He said, number 1 was to have another surgery. And I was like, nah, I'm not having another. I've already had 3 in 1 year. And already the tendonitis from where I've had the surgeries was like bad. Like, as in taking like pills for the pain or whatever. Like, that was bad. So I was like, another surgery? Nah, I'm not doing that. And the second option was to just firm it and play. When I read that, it was a letter they said.
If you're at no lead, that's what they do. You know?
I was in the canteen and like cool. The physio passed me, like I'm reading it.
They wrote you a letter.
Oh, it was an email actually. It was email. Like the specialist, and the second one said like firm it and play it. So I'm like, what are you talking about? You think I wouldn't do that if I could?
If you could, yeah.
Yeah, and then the third one was like, won't be able to play professional football again. I remember seeing that. I was like. Obviously, it passed my mind before at that point, but I was like, damn, that might actually be the option because I'm not having another surgery. I was convinced at that point, I'm not having another surgery. I can't play, so there's no point in me trying to force it and play. And then, obviously, the third option is to retire, so I was like, I wasn't ready to give up at that point. So I said, cool. I put everything into physio, man. Every day, like over summer, like when everyone else is off doing on their holidays, doing, enjoyment, all this and that, party, wherever they're going. Mobs, Ibiza, wherever the guys are going. I was I was in the physio room in the gym, putting in work. But yeah, I think it got to, I'm gonna say, September, October. I realized, okay, like in my head, I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm making no progress. I just didn't see myself getting back, and that wasn't me giving up. Like people ask me, like, oh, like you could have. I remember like when I announced like retirement, I got loads of messages from people saying, no, you can't give up. You think this is me giving up? Like you just read 2-3 paragraphs that I've just written down saying that I'm gonna retire, or whatever, and you've seen that as me giving up. You haven't seen the past 2 years of you just read a 30-second little script of me saying what I've been through. You can't really relate to that.
Yeah.
So I remember that annoyed me. Like people saying like, "Oh no, you're giving up." Like, nah. If you was there with me, like you'd understand like how hard it was.
It's massive. So it's so interesting that you speak about like the disconnect of what people think's going on or they see from the outside to the realities of actually what you're walking through yourself. You know. So no, I just listening to that is just like it's the raw reality of what can happen to a footballer, which is completely out of their control, you know. And
you have modes of experience of that as well, innit?
Yeah, no
injury.
Yeah, not too many. But I think for me, it's always like, bro, like there's empathy. Do you know what I mean? With a lot of players, there's setbacks, but it's again just the realities of sport. You don't control. You wouldn't have written this for yourself at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So it's kudos to you what you're doing now. But when you really made that decision to retire at such a young age, what were some of your thoughts or emotions? You know, was it like, what are your thoughts or emotions?
I think at first, you know, you're in a bit of denial just because, again, there's no way like I've spent all these years getting to pro, making it pro, you know, like proving the statistics wrong, like saying how, if you reach a certain age and you haven't signed it, you're not going to make it. Like proving that wrong, proving people wrong who doubted me, just for it to end like this. Because you're thinking like, if you get told, okay, you're not good enough, and I gave it my all, then I've done everything I can live with that. But for it to be something that was out of my control, it's like, it's frustrating. Like I still think about it like every now and then, not as much, but it's still very raw to the point where like, if anyone brings up, or if you meet someone, they'll be like, "Oh, you used to play football," and it's a touchy subject. Wow. Like,
interesting.
Like I won't bring it up to someone like, "Oh yeah, like how you?" No, I would never. I'm not gonna bring it. I don't want to really like.
You're more than just a footballer.
Yeah, I think. I remember I spoke to someone, who didn't necessarily have an injury, but they went through a retirement process just from, you know, as they got older, and they was speaking about slowly detaching themselves from being labelled as a professional athlete. Like I don't want to just be known as, oh yeah, the guy who used to play football. Like I want to be known as Jayden, the guy who does this, that, the guy that.
And that's perfect. Obviously, into obviously our question, like at that point, obviously after you retired and now what you're doing now, who are you beyond football?
Yeah, so I think at first, it's actually funny now that we've done the interview originally like a couple months ago to now. So my mindset then was I really wanted to take some time off just to, you know, because it's basically been 3 years of just craziness, like just straight grind. So last couple months I've relaxed, gone away on a holiday, whatever, relaxed, enjoyed myself. But now I'm at a point where I want to, you know, go do something for myself. So whether it's been modeling or it's been some media stuff, that's what I'm focusing on now. So at the end of the day, you got to go create your own opportunities. I think no one's going to hand, oh, you done football, like, here's this, here's that, you can go do this. Like, it's just not how it works. Like, another thing I realised is time really flies by. Like, it only feels like yesterday I was announcing retirement and, like, the outpour of, like, support I got from everyone. And before you know it, boom, it's like, now we're in July, but we've got a month left for summer, and then it's the new season. So, no one's going to hand you anything. You've really got to go and create stuff for yourself. So that's
good. That's good. And I just had a question in terms of How do you look back on your time through football?
Obviously, mixed emotions. Upset how it ended, disappointment, but at the same time, you know, I did achieve something that most people can't say they did. So I can look back and say, yeah, I did that. But there's a bit like, damn, like I would have at least liked to known how far I could have gotten taking this. So that is a sad point, I think. And then just also the point of, you know, how it is with like your friends or people around you that are like, oh, they know you as a footballer, like, oh, the guy is doing well for himself. I still want that just with whatever I do next. I want people to look up to me like, oh, he's doing well for himself. So I don't want people to like have pity for me.
Say that you fell off and
stuff like that. Like that was my really big like.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Like people like, oh, like poor Jayden, like like he had to retire. Like obviously I really did appreciate the support that I got, but at the same time, like people are only gonna say that that's only gonna last for a few months, whatever. Before you know it, people will forget about it. Like you're just like, who am I realistically right now? So I don't want that to define me. Just a guy who retired. Like
good.
Yeah, and then obviously you said you're really into business. Then to obviously help wrap us up, what's next for you in terms of where do you see yourself going on? Is it through the punditry? Is it through the media? Is it through modelling or setting up your own business?
Yeah, so the media thing, I'm really, hopefully a couple potential things, not to spoil anything, but a couple potential things coming up over the next couple of months that I'm really working hard towards. And even doing like podcast stuff like this, I really enjoyed that. So whether it's doing my own podcast or doing stuff where it's radio, which I've done, stuff like that, I'm really interested in doing. And business, marketing, I do really enjoy. So whether that's looking at general marketing, social media marketing, or content creation, that's what I'm really looking towards. For me personally, I'm not sure about doing a general 9 to 5 for me. I don't think that's me. I kind of want more for myself.
Gen Z, you know.
So I kind of want more for myself. So, you know, it's just like I spoke about earlier, just not waiting for an opportunity to present itself, like go create my own opportunity. So that's my plan.
That's top tier. Thank you very much, man. It's for me, it breaks my heart, man, because that's another, you know, rising black goalkeeper coming through the ranks. You know, there's not many of us. And you know, I'm on a mission to break the stigma, the big stigma around keepers of colour. Obviously, players not trusting them, all of that. So it's so sad, man. For me, obviously, to have on that mission that we're on, but I know you're gonna do big and better things beyond the pitch, man. So yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's been a great pleasure, man. Whatever you're gonna do, I know it's gonna be a success, man.
It,
so
man.
I'm excited, bro.
Let's get it, man. But make sure you guys check Jayden out, Insta, all of that. Be ready for what he's gonna release. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and just understand that Jayden didn't know he's gonna retire at such a young age. Anyone can hold it. So anyone can hold it. It can be you. People say never me. Your career could be finished tomorrow. So make sure you know who you are beyond football. And know that there's life outside of football in the bubble. So yeah, till next time, join the movement. #beyond football. We're moving, we're loading. 2 out of 3 today. We're going straight in, back to back. Let's go, let's get it, man. We're out.